What if I told you that everything you've been taught about success is a lie? What if the secret to extraordinary results isn't about doing more, but about doing less? What if there's one simple question that could revolutionize your entire life, your career, your relationships, and your future? Picture this. Two people start their day. Person A has a to-do list with 47 items. They're busy from dawn to dusk, checking boxes, attending meetings, answering emails, multitasking like a machine. Person B has one thing on their list. Just one. By the end of the year, guess who's achieved extraordinary success? Guess who's built a $1 million business, transformed their health, or mastered a life-changing skill? It's not who you think. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the most successful people in the world, from Bill Gates to Warren Buffett, from Oprah to Steve Jobs, all discovered this one secret that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Gary Keller built the largest real estate company in the world using this principle. He went from struggling agent to creating a $1 billion empire. But here's the kicker. He did it by ignoring 99% of what business experts told him to do. Instead, he focused on one thing. And today, I'm going to share with you the exact system, the precise strategy, and the life-changing question that will help you achieve more in the next 90 days than most people achieve in 10 years. But here's the catch. Most people will watch this video, nod their heads, and do absolutely nothing. They'll go back to their busy, chaotic lives and wonder why nothing changes. Will you be different? Will you be part of the 1% who actually applies what they learn? Because what I'm about to share isn't just theory. It's a proven system that has transformed millions of lives around the world. If you're ready to stop being busy and start being successful, if you're tired of spinning your wheels and ready to gain massive momentum, then buckle up. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this could be the most important 30 minutes of your life. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the very end, because I'll share a real-life story that will blow your mind and give you a challenge that could change everything. Let's dive in. Before we unlock the secrets of the one thing, let me tell you about the extraordinary man behind this life-changing philosophy, Gary Keller. Picture a young real estate agent in the 1980s, struggling to make ends meet. Gary Keller wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He was just another guy trying to make it in the competitive world of real estate in Austin, Texas. But Gary had a problem. He was doing everything. He was trying to be the best at prospecting, the best at presentations, the best at negotiations, the best at follow-up, the best at marketing. Sound familiar? For years, Gary was the definition of busy. He worked 80-hour weeks, juggled multiple priorities, and felt like he was running on a hamster wheel. Despite all his effort, his results were mediocre at best. He was frustrated, exhausted, and ready to quit. Then something happened that changed everything. Gary made a decision that seemed crazy to everyone around him. Instead of trying to be good at everything, he decided to become great at just one thing. He focused exclusively on listing homes. Just that, nothing else. Within months, something magical happened. His income didn't just increase. It exploded. He became the top agent in his market. But Gary didn't stop there. He took this principle and applied it to building a real estate company. While other companies were trying to do everything, residential, commercial, property management, development, Gary's company focused on one thing, helping people buy and sell homes through a unique system. Today, Keller Williams Realty is the largest real estate franchise company in the world by agent count. It has over 190,000 agents across the globe and generates billions in revenue annually. All because Gary Keller discovered the power of the one thing. But Gary didn't write this book alone. He partnered with Papasan, a brilliant writer and researcher who helped distill decades of success principles into a simple, actionable system. Together, they studied the habit of extraordinary achievers, analyzed scientific research on productivity and focus, and discovered a universal principle that separates peak performers from everyone else. What they found will challenge everything you believe about success, productivity, and achievement. They discovered that the most successful people don't try to do more. They do less, but they do it better than anyone else in the world. The focusing question that changes everything. Here's the $1 million question that has transformed countless lives. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Read that again. This isn't just a question. It's a focusing lens that brings clarity to chaos. It's a spotlight that illuminates what truly matters, while everything else fades into the background. Let me tell you about Sarah, a marketing executive who was drowning in tasks. She had 73 items on her to-do list, worked 12-hour days, and felt like she was always behind. Her career was stagnating, her relationships were suffering, and she was heading toward burnout. Then Sarah discovered the focusing question. Instead of asking, "What should I do today?" she started asking, "What's the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary?" The answer shocked her. It wasn't answering emails, attending meetings, or updating spreadsheets. Her one thing was developing a comprehensive content strategy that would systematize her entire marketing approach. Sarah spent the next 90 days focusing 80% of her time on this one project. She said no to unnecessary meetings, delegated routine tasks, and protected her focus like a fortress. The result? She created a content system that generated 300% more leads, saved her team 20 hours per week, and got her promoted to marketing director with a $40,000 raise. The domino effect. Small things lead to big things. Here's a mind-blowing fact. A domino can knock down another domino that's 50% larger than itself. Imagine a chain of dominoes, each one getting progressively larger. The 18th domino would be as tall as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The 23rd would tower over the Eiffel Tower. The 31st would be 3,000 feet taller than Mount Everest. This is exactly how extraordinary success works. Your one thing is like that first small domino. When you focus on it with extraordinary concentration, it creates a chain reaction that topples bigger and bigger achievements. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, understood this principle perfectly. In his early career, his one thing was reading. He read 500 to 1,000 pages every single day. While other investors were busy networking, attending conferences, and jumping on every new trend, Buffett was in his office, reading annual reports, studying businesses, and building his knowledge. This one habit of focused reading led to extraordinary investment insights, which led to superior returns, which led to more capital, which led to bigger investments, which led to compounding wealth over decades. Today, Buffett's net worth exceeds $100 billion, and he attributes his success to the power of focused reading and thinking, the lies that derail success. Now, let me share the dangerous lies that keep most people stuck in mediocrity. These aren't just misconceptions. They're success killers that sabotage your dreams before you even realize what's happening. Lie number 1, everything matters equally. This is the biggest lie of all. We live in a world that tells us everything is urgent, everything is important, everything needs our attention right now. But here's the truth. Some things matter more than others. In fact, most things don't matter at all. The 80-20 rule isn't just a business concept. It's a universal truth. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, but it goes even deeper. 80% of that 20% comes from just 4% of your efforts, and 80% of that comes from less than 1% of what you do. I learned this lesson the hard way early in my career. I was a perfectionist who believed every detail mattered equally. I would spend 3 hours perfecting an email that took 2 minutes to read, while neglecting the strategic projects that could transform my career. I was busy, I was tired, but I wasn't successful. Everything changed when I started asking, what are the few things that, if I did them excellently, would make the biggest difference in my results? Suddenly, my productivity and results skyrocketed. Lie number 2, multitasking is a skill. Here's a scientific fact that will shock you. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain cannot focus on 2 things simultaneously. What you think is multitasking is actually task switching, rapidly moving your attention from one thing to another. Every time you switch tasks, your brain needs time to refocus. Studies show that it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully concentrate after an interruption. If you're switching tasks every few minutes, you're never actually focused on anything. Stanford University conducted a study comparing heavy multitaskers with people who focus on one thing at a time. The results were devastating for multitaskers. They were worse at filtering irrelevant information, worse at managing working memory, and slower at switching between tasks. The people who focus on one thing consistently outperform multitaskers in every measure of cognitive performance. Lie number 3, you need discipline for everything. Here's something that might surprise you. You don't need discipline for everything. You just need enough discipline to build the right habit. Once the habit is established, it runs on autopilot. Research shows that habits form through a neurological loop. Cue routine reward. When you repeat this loop enough times, your brain creates neural pathways that make the behavior automatic. The most successful people aren't more disciplined. They've just built better habits around their one thing. The path to extraordinary results. Now that we destroyed the lies, let me show you the path to extraordinary results. This isn't theory. This is a proven system used by the world's most successful people. Step 1, purpose-driven life. Everything starts with knowing your why. Your purpose is your North Star, the reason you get up every morning, the driving force behind your one thing. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist, discovered that people who had a strong sense of purpose could endure almost any hardship. He wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how." Your purpose gives meaning to your one thing. It transforms daily actions into a mission, work into a calling, and effort into passion. Step 2, priority-driven actions. Once you know your purpose, you must identify your priority, the one thing that will make the biggest difference in achieving your purpose. Think of your goals like a pyramid. At the top, your one thing for right now, daily/weekly focus. Middle, your one thing for this month/quarter. Bottom, your one thing for this year/lifetime. Each level supports the one above it. Your daily one thing should connect to your weekly one thing, which connects to your monthly one thing, and so on. Step 3, productivity-driven methods. Here's the most powerful productivity technique ever discovered, time blocking. Instead of working from a to-do list, you work from a calendar. You block out specific time for your one thing and treat it like the most important appointment of your day. Bill Gates is famous for his Think Weeks. Twice a year, he blocks out an entire week to do nothing but read and think about the future of technology and his businesses. No meetings, no phone calls, no distractions, just pure focus on what matters most. Many of Microsoft's biggest breakthroughs came from insights Gates gained during these focused thinking sessions. Step 4, going small. Here's what separates extraordinary people from everyone else. They go small. While others think big and go broad, extraordinary achievers think big but go small. They identify the smallest possible step that will create the biggest possible impact. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he didn't try to become the everything store on day one. His one thing was incredibly small, selling books online. He focused exclusively on perfecting the online book buying experience. Only after mastering that one thing did he expand to other products. Today, Amazon is worth over $1 trillion, but all started with a discipline to go small and focus on one thing until it was extraordinary. The 4 thieves of productivity. Now, let me warn you about the 4 thieves that will try to steal your focus and sabotage your one thing. Thief number 1, the inability to say no. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something important. The most successful people are experts at saying no. They protect their time like their life depends on it. Because it does. Warren Buffett strategy. Warren Buffett has a simple rule. He writes down his top 25 goals, circles the top 5, and treats the remaining 20 as his avoid at all costs list. Why? Because those 20 goals are attractive enough to distract him from his top 5, but not important enough to deserve his focus. Thief number 2, fear of chaos. When you focus on your one thing, other things will be left undone. Your inbox will have unread emails. Your desk might be messy. Some projects will wait. This is not failure. This is success. Chaos in the unimportant areas is the price of excellence in the important ones. Thief number 3, poor health habits. Your body is the engine that powers your one thing. If you're exhausted, stressed, or unhealthy, you can't perform at your peak. High achievers understand that taking care of their physical and mental health isn't selfish. It's strategic. Thief number 4, environment that doesn't support your goals. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower. If your environment makes it hard to focus on your one thing, you'll struggle no matter how motivated you are. J.K. Rowling wrote much of Harry Potter in cafes because her home environment was too distracting. She designed her writing environment to support her one thing, creating magical stories that would captivate readers around the world. Practical takeaways and action steps. All right, now it's time to turn knowledge into action. Here's exactly how to implement the one thing philosophy in your life. The 30-day one thing challenge. Week 1, discovery. Write down everything you want to achieve in the next year. Use the focusing question to identify your one thing for the year. Break it down. What's your one thing for this quarter? This month? This week? Create your not-to-do list, things you'll stop doing to make room for your one thing. Week 2, time blocking. Block out 4 hours every morning for your one thing. Turn off all notifications during this time. Create a distraction-free environment. Track your focus time and results. Week 3, habit formation. Establish a pre-work ritual that gets you in the zone. Use the 66-day rule. Commit to working on your one thing for 66 consecutive days. Create accountability by telling others about your commitment. Celebrate small wins to reinforce a habit. Week 4, optimization. Analyze what's working and what's not. Eliminate remaining distractions. Double down on your most effective strategies. Plan for long-term sustainability. The One Thing Toolkit. Daily questions. What's my one thing today? What can I say no to? How can I improve my environment? What's the smallest step I can take right now? Weekly review. Did I focus on my one thing this week? What distracted me, and how can I prevent it? What progress did I make? What's my one thing for next week? Monthly assessment. Am I still focused on the right one thing? What results am I seeing? Do I need to adjust my approach? How can I go even smaller and more focused? As we reach the end of this journey together, I want to leave you with a story that will stick with you forever. There once was a man who spent 40 years of his life feeling busy but unfulfilled. He worked hard, checked off countless tasks, and stayed busy from morning until night. But deep down, he knew he wasn't living the life he was meant to live. He felt like he was running in place, getting nowhere despite all his effort. One day, at age 55, he discovered the principle of the one thing. Instead of trying to fix everything in his life, he focused on one thing, his relationship with his daughter, who had grown distant over the years because he was always too busy for what mattered most. He stopped working late every night. He stopped checking emails during family time. He stopped saying yes to every request and commitment. Instead, he focused on one thing, being present with his daughter. 6 months later, his daughter called him for the first time in 2 years. Not because she needed something, but just to talk. A year later, she asked him to walk her down the aisle at her wedding. Today, they have the relationship he always dreamed of, and he realizes that this one thing was worth more than all the busy work he had been doing for decades. Here's my question for you. What if you're just one decision away from the life you've always wanted? What if your one thing is waiting for you to discover it? Focus on it and pursue it with everything you've got. You have a choice right now. You can close this video, feel inspired for a few minutes, and go back to the same busy, chaotic life you've always lived. Or you can make a different choice. You could decide that today is the day everything changes. Right now, grab a piece of paper and write down your answer to this question. What's the one thing I can do in the next 90 days such that by doing it, everything else in my life will be easier or unnecessary? Don't overthink it. Don't make it complicated. Just write down the first thing that comes to mind. The thing you know you should be focusing on but have been avoiding because you're too busy with everything else. When you've written it down, come to the comments section and share it with our community, right? My one thing is, and tell us what you're committing to focus on. This isn't just sharing. This is accountability. This is the beginning of your transformation. If this video has opened your eyes to a new way of thinking about success and productivity, then you need to subscribe to Mind's Quotes right now and hit that notification bell. Because I'm not just here to summarize books. I'm here to help you transform your life through the wisdom of the world's greatest thinkers. Remember, Extraordinary results are not born from extraordinary circumstances. They're born from extraordinary focus on ordinary moments. Your one thing is waiting. Your extraordinary life is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to claim it? The time for being busy is over. The time for being extraordinary has begun. Your one thing starts now.